Hey guys, it's me David and welcome back to Building Scarif Week 16. Alright guys, so this is an exciting segment because we're going to put Section 2 back together. For the last 2 or 3 segments, we've only had this front section here, and we kind of took apart the second section so that way we could have more table space to work with in terms of building the bunker, building the second AT-ACT. All of that is going to come back together in this segment, and you're going to see what the bunker and all of that's going to look like together on this giant Scarif MOC. So it's a very, very exciting segment. Because of that, I think a lot of you will enjoy this. I know it's really looking like Scarif, guys. It really honestly is. It makes me so happy to see the final product is near, honestly. We're getting close, especially when you see the end part of the segment. A lot of you be like, wow, this is looking exactly like Scarif. And I couldn't agree more. There will be some kind of questionable things you guys might question throughout the segment. A couple changes I'm making through the MOC. Little things like colors and for certain things are going to be changed just because of access to certain parts available, or mainly that reason, honestly. But a couple things like that. But anyhow, I'm going to stop talking, guys. I think you guys want to see the second section put back together with the bunker. We're going to work on the water. That'll be like one of the first things we do. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's go. All right, guys. So starting this segment off, the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is actually start building this water into the 3 little studs so we can add that to the MOC tonight. And then the other thing is we're going to rebuild the section. So I'm going to push this back, put the section 1 here, rebuild section 2, put the bunker where it should be, and we're going to work on the bunker and the landing pad tonight and add the water. And all of that together should look really awesome. On another note, I also just want to quickly show that I did get some of the new summer 2017 sets. Definitely my favorite so far is the Darth Vader transformation. It's a better set than the Republic fighter tank over here. In my opinion, this is a fantastic set. A lot of you have requested I put this on social media that I got these sets. I will probably be doing some short reviews on them, hopefully soon. So if you do want to see those reviews, guys, let me know down in the comments. Without ado, I'm going to go ahead and build some water. Alright guys, so I have Dylan here, and we are currently putting the water together. Our goal tonight is to try to fill at least one of these Pick-a-Brick cups up with the water put into the 3 studs like that. So we just have it kind of spread on these plates, and then we're just putting in the cup, and hopefully it'll be a pretty big section of water once it's all done, right, Dylan?
Hopefully.
All right, so let's see what happens, guys. All right, guys, so me and Dylan, we've been able to fill up this entire Pick-a-Brick cup full of these studs. It took about 2 hours, but it's all done, and basically what we're going to do now is I'm going to slide this whole entire section back onto this table, rebuild the other section, and then go ahead and lay all this water, see what that looks like, reattach the bunker, and then we'll go from there. So without ado, let's check out that time lapse right now. Alright guys, so I filled in quite a bit of water. I think this looks pretty good. Definitely I feel like this is about half done. Just about, maybe a little less. But anyhow, I still have some studs left, so I can definitely fill in probably enough to this point right here. But I'm going to need to order more blue studs that I don't think I have enough to fill in this entire thing. So I'm going to order some more to fill in this last bit of section, but we should be able to get this done probably not next segment, but the following segment we'll get this fully filled in, and we'll add, of course, the foaming like that all along that. But that's something we'll do probably next segment, because there is enough room around here to at least get that going somewhat. So yeah. All right, so now where we're going to focus our attention is actually here on the landing pad. I'm going to experiment, probably not get the final version done. And then I'm also going to fill in some things on the bunker. Probably not get it finished either, but we're definitely going to experiment here and here and see what that looks like. And we'll go from there. So let's go, guys. Alright guys, so for my goal in terms of landing pad is to kind of mimic what LEGO did with their landing pad. Not in terms of like what they did with colors and stuff like that, but the shapes that they did. It's not 100% accurate to the real landing pad, but it's a good guideline and similar enough to the movie. So I'm using this as the guideline. So I'm not going to match all the colors, the light gray and the dark gray at all. I'm not doing that. But in terms of the lines, especially in this key area right here, in that kind of rectangle, basically from here to here, there to there, is what I'm going to try to do. So what I've done so far over here is I've put the arrows in, the main arrows. I actually used this, it's the same design that I used in Kashyyyk, but I'm having a problem. And this is problems that happen when you work with LEGO is this. So what's going on currently is I have the landing pad currently is built, it's going this way, right? So the studs are facing this way like that. But these were built upwards this way. So basically I tried to make it sideways like so, but I'm having a problem in terms of the gaps right here. If I put plates in, tiles between it, then I have this little weird space that cannot be filled by any LEGO piece at the moment. If I don't put the tiles in, then you have the studs lined up and that's the closest you can get it, and you can't fit a tile there, otherwise everything will break or you're bending the LEGO. So it's either one or the other. Either you have the stud show up or you have this weird looking gap. With the weird looking gap, you can kind of put it between it so you have a less of a gap. And what I mean is like kind of like that, so you have a little gap on both sides. Either way, I don't really like how it looks. So what I think I'm going to end up doing actually is rebuilding this entire landing pad. Instead of the studs facing this way, they'll stack up that way. I think that'll be a better design for this particularly. It's going to involve a lot more work, but it is something I'm going to do. And I think it'll work better in terms of this design that we're going to try to achieve. Ignore this part right here, but this is what I'm trying to mimic for my landing pad. I am kind of taking some of my own creative ways with how I'm going to go about doing this. For example, the arrows are gray instead of orange. That's just something I'm going to do. I know it's not accurate. Oh, actually, I don't know if the orange is actually even accurate. It probably is, but I'm not 100% sure. Even so, I want to use the gray. I think it'll have a better color contrast. It'll look weird if it's orange, in my opinion. Besides some of the parts that I'll need to do these arrows and the other things probably don't exist in burnt orange yet, so that's also another problem. So I'm going to go with gray. I hope you guys aren't too upset about this. I don't really think it's the biggest deal in the world, so I hope a lot of you don't get like mad at me down in the comments, but this is something I'm going to do regardless, so I hope you guys aren't too upset. If you are, you know, let me hear it down in the comments. I do want to see if a lot of you are upset about this. But I'm pretty sure I'm headed in this direction. But if you guys are upset for some reason about this, then you're welcome to tell me down in the comments. And if you're not, please tell me that too, so I know I'm, you know, doing the right thing here. But anyhow, I've also kind of finished building this part. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. This is all secure now. It isn't empty and hollow or anything. It's all like fully built. And I've kind of done that for a couple things over here in the behind the scenes. But yeah, so I'm going to have to rebuild this entire landing pad now, so it's built a different way, a different angle. It shouldn't be a problem, at least I don't think, because there's enough gap right here and here that there shouldn't be a problem. I might have to reduce it a little bit on this side, but even so, it should still work. And for the studs, currently they face this way, so we're going to actually make it face that way, and I think that should work. So yeah, I don't think we'll get to that in this segment. I think I'm going to work on the next week because there's a lot of things that need to happen in this landing pad. But I do, you know, it's looking good. This is pretty much where I want to head with the design, the arrows and stuff. And the other lines here, these other lines, that's very, very easy to achieve. Honestly, you just put bricks in and it should work. Light gray bricks, so that should be very simple. But that is where we're headed with this. Another thing I'm going to do when I redo the landing pad this way up is I'm going to add, I don't have the piece, but it's basically the piece that allows you to have studs on the top, so that way we'll have some control panels, the switch panel from the movie and stuff like that. So I'll have a little thing for that as well, so that's important. The last thing we'll work on in this segment, guys, is we're going to get a little bit more of the bunker done, and then we'll finish up from there. Alright guys, so I've done what I can for right now, and I think it looks pretty awesome. This is, a lot of it's coming together now, guys. We're getting a lot of the water done, we're getting the landing pad figured out, and now the bunker is all stationed, it's all together now, and it looks really, really awesome like this. So it's definitely all coming together, and I really like it. Anyhow, I've spent so much time on this bunker, and I know it really doesn't look different for a lot of you, but I'm telling you when I say, like, I've literally spent 5 hours figuring this out. There's so many little things on this bunker that don't even stick out to anybody if you aren't looking for it. So a lot of it was right around here, getting this somewhat right, and I'm still not even really satisfied with it. This particular area, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. You have all these different curves. You have this curve, you have this like 45-degree angle curve, and then you have these curves all intersecting at one point, and you have Lego bricks that are like just very complicated when you have 3 different angles intersecting at one point. So I spent a lot of time figuring out what can I make this, how can I make this look at its best. And this is what I've come up with. It's not perfect, and I know a lot of you will be like, oh, it doesn't look that great. Well, I know I probably am still going to continue to tinker at it, but I'm getting there. You should have seen what I originally had. It didn't even look that great at first. But anyhow, what's interesting is I had the angle piece here originally, but then I was like, oh, that looks better if I have it there. And then there was this weird gap right here, but I was able to fill that in. It was like this originally. See how it's kind of a gap? Can't really tell, but I was able to fill that in. Just a whole bunch of little things that I worked on for this, and then now this whole thing is a lot more secure underneath. It's all built now. It's not just like kind of freestanding anymore. There's actually a structure here, and I had to make it so this whole front side has to be able to be taken off because the landing pad has to be able to come off. So I had to figure out a best way to securify this while also making it easy to take apart and not super complicated or anything like that. And then how this right here sits in this is very, took a lot of work to get it just perfect, so it just sits there flush, and it works with this thing will actually connect to that. It's not in its perfect stance right now, but anyhow, it took a lot of work to get this right the way it is. This actually will connect there, but anyhow, a lot of work went into just this little area. I can't tell you how long and how annoying it was to get this right, but it's right now for the most part. Still trial and error, of course. Just gotta take these off. These things actually attach to the bottom here, but yeah. Anyhow, so that's what it looks like without the roof. A little bit more interesting. But anyhow, the next thing we'll do next segment probably for the bunker is the inside. It obviously needs an interior. Also, for those of you wondering about where are the doors, the doors in Scarif, they don't go sideways, they go downwards into the ground. And because we have a table, we can't really do that. So either there's going to be doors in it that are either the doors will be fully closed or will be coming down, or they'll be just not there. There's also another set of doors on the inside right about here that are the blast doors, so I might put those in. If you look carefully, you'll notice that there's the front doors for the Scarif bunker, and then there's the secondary blaster doors for when you're getting into like the train, or the transport that takes them to the Citadel. So there's a lot of little things. I've been really keeping my eye out on this bunker, so trust me, I'm gonna get as much of this right as possible. Of course, like I said earlier, there are some things I'll change because it's my MOC and I kind of want to change it without things being overly complicated, of course. But yeah, guys, just put this back on here, like so. Kind of just sits there now. There we go. Anyhow, but yeah, that's looking good. These things kind of need to sit in there. Bothers me a little bit. I'm a little OCD in terms of getting this stuff right. But yeah, guys, it's really coming out well now. It's kind of give you the whole overview of Scarif. Now that some of the water's on the other side, that looks really awesome, honestly. Wow. Yeah. All right. So this is where we'll go ahead and stop, guys. And yeah. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the segment. Doesn't it look awesome? I mean, I'm really honestly excited that we're so close to finishing. Honestly, I think we can have the landing pad done by next segment, and the bunker's getting there. The interior is probably what we'll do next, focus the most on next segment. The backside, like I said, you can't really fit the transport right there. I'm not sure if I'll build anything. I might just extend it and call it quits in terms of the bunker area and just kind of put the sand around it. The water's pretty close to being done. And then we have trees and shrubbery. That's it after that, honestly. I know it sounds like a lot, but that can be achieved at least within the next month. And a month from now will be July. It's June 2nd, 3rd. It's kind of the 3rd when I'm filming this. But anyhow, around the first week of July, second week of July is what I'm aiming to end the series. We'll end this particular MOC, of course. So there's another MOC coming. But yeah, it's getting there, guys. I'm really happy. Anyhow, I asked a lot of you guys for feedback throughout the segment, especially on making color changes with the arrows and such on the landing pad. I'm very kind of firm on it, but I still want to hear what your guys thinking. If you guys are just that pissed off about a color change, let me know it down in the comments. If you're not, please also let me know, so I'm making the right decision here. You guys are, I feel like a lot of you are very understanding for the most part, but I have seen some comments that really drill me on accuracy and do certain things, like on the engines on the U-Wing, how there's still little orange pieces. A lot of you are like, if they're still technically running. Of course I'm going to take the orange pieces off later, guys, but I just think it's funny how a lot of you really pay attention to those little details, and I, for one, love little details. There's going to be one special little fun Easter egg that I'm going to do in the MOC at the very end in the finale segment that I'm going to throw in. It's for one of my friends. I think a lot of you guys will like it. I can say one thing, in that it involves a hot tub, and I'll let you guys speculate on that. And that's where we're going to end it, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching this segment. I'll see you guys in week 17 next week. All right, guys, I hope you have a great and wonderful day. Bye-bye.